Hello, my name is Guellerimo, and for my individual presentation, I want to talk about the filmmaking techniques of Mr. Guillermo del Toro. First, I want to talk about his narrative style. Mr. del Toro, in his earlier interviews, has said that he has always, as a child, he's been very much influenced by the fairy tales, the monsters under the beds, and stories that were meant to frighten children, but they used to fascinate him more than they frightened him. And many times he used to go and watch cinemas near his home that consisted of such fantasy horror genre elements, and they were very weird in a sense, but they fascinated him, and that's something that has permeated into his modern day filmmaking techniques. If you specifically look at his films like Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, Devil's Backbone, Chronos, Mimic, and just recently he was signed on to do The Hobbit, you can see that his progression of films are not based on our everyday scenarios. He's very much interested in what fantasy he can do his films on, what kind of story he can manipulate and show it in a way that we are immersed in it rather than we get repulsed by it, which is something that's very unique to movie makers. So this is a scene from Pan's Labyrinth that I really want to talk about. As you can see, the colors there, she's entering some sort of a secret hidden passage. The colors are very rustic. She's looking around. She doesn't know what's going on, but she's continuing to keep on going, like a child, just looking around and seeing this new place. Now she enters this big buffet-like place, and she's walking. There's all this food. Every kid's dream, my dream. And this. Yeah, this is the guy I really want to talk about. Pale Man. These are his eyes that just don't happen to be in his face, and she's obviously repulsed and confused. But she's not that scared. That's one very interesting aspect. Now she's going to look around in the paintings and see how he obviously kills people and babies. He seems to. She's still not completely frightened, but very apprehensive. Now she gets quite scared because she's looking at this pile of shoes. Now these fairies are going to come out and help her. Another fantastical creature edition. And they're going to help her to tell her that she needs to put something in that lock. Now I really want to focus on the scenery. It's all very old age fantasy, something that's not entirely human made, but what we would expect to be as a part of people that just would be in their world. So the sounds are going, and she opens the lock. She's finding the key, and there's a dagger. She's walking now. She's kind of looking around at what's around her. She is very much tempted by the food, and she feels maybe, what would it be so bad if you could just take one bite before you leave? I mean, it's not like he's going to move. Typical child greediness, which is understandable because that is delicious. And she puts it in her mouth, and those fairies are upset, and Pale Man starts up. Now, if you just look at his claws, he's got claws. He has very pale paper skin. You can see his ribs, and he looks disgusting, but at the same time not grotesque enough for us to not move or avert our eyes away. He puts his eyes in his hands. That's how he sees, and this is my favorite scene. She's still eating, and the fairies are telling her to quit it and go away. But there he is walking, staggering towards her. please try to piss him off. God. Oh dear. Yeah, now that should definitely give her a clue to run for her life. Now she's gonna stop running. She's running, and he's obviously going to run after her. Is running out, she's running as fast as she can, and the door closes. But this is the climax of this particular scene where we get very much drawn as to is she going to get captured or not, but she has a chalk, so she drops it, and she looks back to create another aura of suspense and apprehension. Terrific acting by this child actress, by the way, really draws us into her world. And he's coming forward. And she's going to open the door. She made it, and she's going to climb against this thing. Is he going to get her? Is he not going to get her? Oh my god, oh my god. And he swoops and got her, and she's up, and then she realizes done. So this is a scene from Hellboy 2. The characters are moving into this giant void-like place. And just take it all in. The music, you can tell, is very fantasy genre. This goblin is telling them what happened to this place.
Silence and death, me fellas. World left us behind.
They're walking towards this strange mausoleum,
I
like
alone dwelled in the dust. All right, little girl. The two of you come inside. The rest of you wait out here.
just look at the setting. It's so rustic and so webbed. Very inhumane.
Hello, old friend. I have brought you visitors. And I have a favor to ask you. No favor to you, Goblin. But I have done so much for you. I have brought you many souvenirs. But he has something shiny. Something nice.
This is the Angel of Death.
You know that name?
Look at his eyes. Oh my goodness.
I've been waiting for you both.
It's rotting yet still kept together. Oh my. Look at the ribs, the designing. It's paperish and structural bone-like.
Ah, good. When can I have that which is mine?
Can you save him?
It is for you to decide that. It is all the same to me. My heart is filled with dust and sand. But you should know, it is his destiny to bring about the destruction of the earth. Not now, not tomorrow, but soon enough.
This is where we can be pointed towards the further sequels of the movie.
So, child, make the choice. The world or him. The time will come, and you, my dear, will suffer more than
deal with it. I'll save him.
It is done. I have done what I can. Now, give him a reason to live.
Alright, so for my final summing up, Del Toro's filmmaking style is very visual. He's very much interested in letting the structure of the characters and the scenario tell the story on its own. The reason why his movies are so well received is because he's so creative in keeping us engaged in the procession of the characters and the development of the story that you find aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time you don't want to be there. Maybe in the scenario, but not amongst these strange pale man and angel of death. It's just it doesn't creep on you, but it does keep you mesmerized long enough, and it's very unique for every film. Most of his movies have a very old world, fantastical, not gothic, but certainly very fairy tale-ish, the grim fairy tale-ish way of styling and scenery in the buildings, the structures. It does very much point towards an old way of civilization and living, particularly concerning magic and just a very old predictive elements. So yes, we're already 11 minutes into this movie. I hope you like it, and I hope my summary of Del Toro's unique movie making style, his fantasy world, has interested you, and I hope you watch more of his movies. Thank you.